Hey all, I'm here to talk about Bronzepunk and the basics. Um, and play this game just to give content than just pictures and other stuff. So, I'm gonna start talking about it. Through starting to talk about Bronzepunk by giving background. And giving background is going to be helpful because there's Bronzepunk, there's Steampunk, there's Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk and Steampunk are the most popular ones, and I would think that it's good to talk about them because it's like the basis. So Steampunk and Cyberpunk are the most popular, and so I'm gonna talk about them to give background. So um, yeah. So what is I guess which one should I start with? Steampunk or Cyberpunk? I can't remember which one I'll choose. But um so Cyberpunk, let's start with this popular one, Steampunk. So Steampunk is about Victorian era uh aesthetics where you have steam, you have those, I don't know what you call them, aviator goggles, steampunk goggles. I'm not even sure what you call those, literally, but that's that. There's for women in corsets, and for men it's like suits and whatnot. I mean, I really don't think people in Victorian times wore suits like they do today, but I mean, I don't really know, I guess. Maybe they did, I don't know. I just see people on, like, online, like on, like, Reddit, people share their steampunk stuff. And usually the men are in suits and the women are in corsets of some sort. So those are the most popular parts of the aesthetic. Just gotta look your best, I guess. Gotta make what do you call it? Gotta make I don't know what you call it. Make the, setup, I guess, setup of clothing? You gotta make that, because, of course, when you, talk about, like, steampunk, you're gonna have to know what kind of aesthetics are. There's Victorian era, so you have corsets, you have trench coats, or, I don't know whatever you call those things with, like, the, the, uh, men's suit things, and the angle to the back. I don't know what you call those. I'm guessing those were popular in Victorian times. I mean, I don't really know. Um, I mean, don't talk. No, don't get me involved in this. um, but anyway, um, it's something. It's like we're aesthetics. Like you have to have steam. And the thing is about punk genres, there's one solid thing you have to know. You have to know the basis of the genre. Like, you have to know what aesthetic it is. Like, steampunk, it's Victorian era. Cyberpunk, it's about, I don't know, 2200 AD. I don't know. And you have to know the patterns, you have to know what works, and you have to know how to make it work. Like, you can't just put the goggles on, steampunk goggles with a t-shirt and trousers. You can't do that. But what you can do is like steampunk goggles, the trench coat thing the dudes wear. I don't even know what they're even called. And like goggles, like in steampunk, like, for example, like the goggles are for any gender. And steampunk, you have the 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 sci-fi goggles. Well, guys can wear that too, I guess. You know, and for steampunk, also you have to know how your character will be. Like your character should be, if you want to go, cyberpunk for example, if you want to look really cool and really futuristic looking, you make your character based around that topic that you want to put your um what's it called, character, like the basis. So Steampunk is more about, like 22 AD, steampunk, or cyberpunk's about 22 AD, and then steampunk is like the 1600s and 1700s, whenever Victorian era was. And the aesthetic is how you make it work. Now, Bronzepunk, and the aesthetic is Bronze Age, Bronzepunk. It's also called Sandalpunk. It really depends on what you want to call it. I call it Bronzepunk because it's the Bronze Age, so it's whatever. Sandalpunk, I guess you would call it, because back then they didn't have shoes. They had sandals. So, whatever. Bronzepunk is similar, like the basis is you have to do it in the Bronze Age. So you could have, like, you have to make it work, like, how do I explain this? Bronzepunk, you have to make it work, things like even cyberpunk and steampunk, for example. You have to make things work and make it also, like, technology, like, in Victorian eras, like, you didn't have cars, you had carts and wagons, I guess. I'm not very familiar with the Victorian era, but you would have no cars. So how would you make it work? You would make a steam-powered, I don't know, steam-powered, I guess it had bicycles then, so like bike, a steam-powered bike, and you can zoom down the road. That's a thing. You take modern things and put it in the basis, the topic, whatever you want to call it, of steampunk. So like a bicycle with steam engine. Well, you're zooming down the road. Cyberpunk, you I don't know, you have a bike and you put you put like an engine that like is like high tech, like futuristic kind of engine on the bike, and you go like 500 miles per hour. I don't know. And what happens is with that that's how it works. You gotta put modern stuff and translate it to what it would be like in that punk genre, like that steampunk, that cyberpunk, that bronzepunk. And Bronzepunk takes place in the Bronze Age. So that would be Athens, that would be Sparta, that would be Crete, that would be Knossos, or I don't know how to pronounce Knossos. I think it's Knossos. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I think it's Knossos. Let's just say Knossos. So that's Knossos. That's that's all like those kind of things. There's Laconia, which is like owned by Sparta back in the Bronze Age, so I guess that's the same difference, Laconia and Sparta. The Mycenaeans, it really depends on, that's the Bronze Age, it's the Aegean Sea islands that are in the Aegean Sea, Aegean Ocean, I'm not sure, I think it's Aegean Sea, and all the islands that were, like, flourishing in the Bronze Age. That's Bronzepunk. So, for example, with Bronzepunk, you would have a guy, let's go for the bicycle. How would you make it work? Well, Bronze Age, they didn't have any oil, they didn't have any steam. I mean, steam was probably the only steam they got was from campfires, I swear, from steam. They didn't have, all futuristic stuff. So what would they do? They would probably make, because they didn't have the kind of, like, they didn't have wiring, so you couldn't make, like, a battery or whatever. So, literally, you could, let's see. So, they would, technology-wise, they had basics. They had the wheel. So, maybe they could use the wheel and spin it by hand and maybe make some, spin it by hand. And let's see. What else? So the wheel, I mean, that's pretty popular, and they had their shield and whatnot. So maybe if you have pedals, or at least maybe without pedals, you just walk. You would the wheel, if you turn it by hand, like, and the shield's like protecting the wheel, you would move the wheel by hand and make it really fast and ride it down the road and you got a self-spinning wheel. I don't know. You probably would get like 5 feet, but still, just keep going, get your steps in, get your calories burning. So, and I guess the last thing I want to talk about is developing a Bronzepunk world. Now, the most famous Bronzepunk thing, I think, is honestly they're probably two most popular are Sparta and Athens. So Sparta is pretty popular. I mean, you got the movie 300. So I mean, then that was based off a comic. So we got and that was based off I think history. So we got things going there. Um, and what so um. So it's like, it's like you have Sparta and you have Athens. So they're the two most popular, again, city-states. And I guess Laconia, but Laconia is kind of like in the background. So let's just say Sparta and Athens. And each had their own thing going on. I'm not getting into history. I know, I don't want to get in history. I maybe in another video I'll talk about the background, which I probably will do. But let's just say those are the most two popular city-states that people know of today. Maybe the Mycenaeans and Knossos, or not Knossos, Minoans. Minoans, Mycenaeans, Spartans, Laconians, Athenians, all the city-states and more. I don't feel like listing the rest. Just trying to get this going, smooth sailing. So, that's the thing. So, them two most popular would probably be the most common to develop. So, you have, literally do not copy the 300, copy the historical thing. Don't copy the movie and comic. That's not smart. But if you want to take history is a good way to develop your Bronzepunk world. You can learn little topics, little ideas, little snippets of some information that you're like, oh, this could work, this could work. So, and same thing with steampunk. If you go to Victorian era and you just look at history, cyberpunk, there's no history, there's the future. So you're gonna have to figure out yourself. Now, I'm not gonna talk about steampunk and cyberpunk in my series, but that's just an example. So I hope this video helped out. I wasn't really, probably explaining it very well, but I wanted to try to explain it as best as I could. In another video, I guess I'll talk about the history of the city-states. The most popular, Sparta, Athens, also Mycenaeans and Minoans, and if other city-states that can be good to use with, like in a Bronzepunk world, that you can find enough information on and build from there. Because you're gonna have a basis of what you think, based off of Sparta, based off Sparta's history, based it off of Mycenaeans, based off Minoans. Gotta build upon it. So that's really all. So I hope this worked out for you and helped out. So yeah, thank you.